All right, thank you. Good morning, members of the committee, Chairman Miller. My name is Angela Hardison Breckenridge. I am a doula, a lactation educator, and midwife assistant, otherwise known as a birth worker. I'm here today to testify in favor of expanding access to paid family leave and to discuss the impact this policy can have on newborns and their families. As a birth worker, I've attended over 100 births and provided postpartum support to just as many families here in Kentucky and in other parts of the U.S. I imagine many of you are parents and some of you are medical professionals, so I don't need to tell you how profound of an experience it is to birth or adopt a child. Although becoming a parent is among the most joyous of occasions, it can also be one of the most traumatizing. Even healthy, successful births can be stressful for the body and mind. If we are committed, pardon me, if we are committed to having healthy and successful births, we must provide real and meaningful support to Kentuckians, especially pregnant Kentuckians and new parents. We have lots of evidence to show something we already know, that pregnancy can be dangerous and being a new parent is really hard. The U.S. has one of the highest rates of maternal mortality in the developed world, and Black moms are 4 times more likely to die than white moms. We live in the only developed country on earth where we are more likely to die while pregnant, during birth, or postpartum than our parents. And so imagine, with all the advances that we have in medicine and technology, the maternal mortality rate has actually been steadily increasing for decades. While this evidence is just beginning to emerge around relationships between access to paid leave and maternal health, there is an overwhelming body of evidence to suggest that paid leave is directly tied to reducing rates of infant mortality. Black infants are twice as likely to die as white infants. These health disparities remain even when you account for factors such as income and educational levels. I recently supported a Black pregnant woman right here in Kentucky who worked a minimum wage job and had practically no support system. She took leave from her job, believing that she should return after she gave birth and everything would be fine. So after a somewhat traumatic birth, she was able to initiate breastfeeding, which was huge. However, after a couple of weeks at home, she faced quite a few hurdles. She didn't have enough leave or savings to stay home, and she knew she should go back to work, but there was no one to watch her child. She was nervous about leaving her newborn with strangers, and she didn't make enough money to pay for childcare and her living expenses. She also developed severe mastitis and ended up back in the hospital for several days. It was while she was there that she realized she could not go back to work with no one to care for her child. Before long, she lost her home and was living in a shelter with her newborn. I have endless stories of the needs of birthing families and how we fall short as a society in supporting them.
Thank you, Ms. Hardison Breckenridge. We do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Representative Duplessis.